Well, it's that time again. From executive orders, terrorist attacks, to what DEI and Paul's government payments. Man, we got so much stuff to recap. We gonna talk about it all next on this episode of Brother to Brother. Rooting for everybody that's black. Yeah. Yeah. Truly, I'm rooting for everybody that's black.
You jam the same every time. That's so funny, bro.
Everybody from sports to college class for rap.
I just that face.
What it is, what it was, DFWI Radio fam. It is me once again, M to the A-double-N. Man, and I'm here with my main man, Mr. T. Jones. Mr. T. Jones, how you been, brother?
What's good? Feels like a month as always.
Man.
Good to be back because I know you got something amazing.
Man, it's another 2 weeks has passed once again. So here we are once again.
Mm-hmm.
You dig me? So as you heard at the beginning, today's episode, we just recapping over the last 2 months of the things that affect our community. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I wrote about 15 different topics down that have happened since our last recap.
Yeah.
And I know we ain't gonna cover them all today, of course.
No.
But we can jump into whichever ones you find, interesting.
Here's how I like it. You shoot it, we do it.
All right, but before we jump into that, man, tell me about your last 2 weeks. How you been, bro?
Last 2 weeks have been interesting, particularly because of the plane crashes.
It's on the list, of course.
Of course,
it's on the list.
My text blows up because people are already, man, what do you think? You know what I'm saying? Being that one was in Washington, one of the most protected places in the country, and then Philly, not too far away, it was like, you see what I'm saying? So that right there was, that was kind of fishy to say the least. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, just your regular, Trump
Same
stuff
old
that he's
same.
been up to. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I can dig it. Well, man, for me, these past 2 weeks, it's been same old same. But I can say I'm in better spirits than I've been the last couple of episodes we had. You dig me? Yeah. So all of a sudden, man, I just love our creator so much, brother. She shows out all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like the last couple of episodes, you heard me complaining about all the requests I kept getting, people needing this, needing that, or whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, this week or last 2 weeks since we last met, it was like all of a sudden it stopped. Yeah. So that I was grateful for that piece.
Gotcha.
And then, man, I woke up one day this past week and I looked at my account, and my bonus was more than the last 3 of my bonuses put together. You dig me?
You dig me? So
I just started smiling.
What's funny though? What's funny is, like I said though, I'll keep saying it. When you text me and you kept showing me stuff, I said, you know what though? I said, you have a good heart. I said, you remind me just of myself. You know what I'm saying? You didn't send nothing back. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it works in mysterious ways.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Though?
Yeah.
And you don't do it for any other reason than why you do it. But look how that came back around.
Yeah, brother. I always feel like the Most High has a plan for everything that we go through. You know what I'm saying? Like even that, I kept telling myself, like, this is a test to see if I can trust you with the little money than if I can trust you with the big money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I felt like sooner or later I'm gonna be put in a position to where I'm gonna be asked, can you be trusted with the big money now? Yeah. So yeah, man. And then so now on my way here, I had another like epiphany moment. You know what I'm saying? It was like I heard a voice clear as day in my ear, because now I feel like I've been struggling with how people talk to me. people been coming at me sideways. You know what I'm saying?
You?
Like, yeah. Well, you know, I told you how I work in IT.
Mm-hmm.
So when you tell somebody that they can't have something that they want, J-Bo out there at the door. I sent them a message.
I did. I just sent another message. So,
but anyways, when you tell people that they can't have something that they want, they tend to fly off at the mouth. But anyways, this particular instance that I'm talking about right now happened earlier today between me and J-Bo's mutual homeboy. Came off at me wrong, and I was feeling like, you know what? When I see him, I'm gonna approach him
because you felt disrespected.
Straight up.
Like no other reason. I'm gonna show you.
Straight up. I'm not one of those guys who talk a lot. I don't know how to argue. I don't do none of that. I'll ring your doorbell, and when you answer the door, I'm gonna punch you in the mouth, and it's up from there. Wherever we go, it just goes. I don't know how to.
Hey, let me tell you something.
Argue back and forth.
That comes along with the disrespect. Obviously, he felt I can go there. You felt like this. Okay. Okay.
And that's all I'm gonna say.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
But when I see you, what they say, it's on site. It's on site because there's no need for that.
So luckily, the man I called J-Bo,
the man of the hour right here. We got Shannon Sharp
showing up ladies. Oh, it's just expected now.
Oh yeah, you know what? Our audience is accustomed, and if he is on time, they're gonna back him. It's all
why the hell is J-Bo
already
there? What's going on?
I like them in like bro, man.
So we got the all black memo, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right. Right? Yeah.
Y'all know that's normally my protocol any damn way.
I could dig
my brothers.
I could dig
So, T. Jones, what's up, family?
As usual, we just recapping our 2 weeks, man. But I was just telling him, I feel like the Most High right now is testing me about how people coming off weird at me. You know what I'm saying? But anyways,
it happens.
When I was riding over here, I heard it clear as day in my head, and it was like she said, "I'm getting ready to put you in a position to where you're gonna have to deal with that all the time." You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna have to deal with people talking to you crazy. So deal with it. Yeah. So once I heard that, man, I was like, you know what? You show right. So that's where I'm at now today.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, but you handled it the way that any grown man would handle it. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's almost like the audacity, almost like taking it back. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Disbelief. You know what I'm saying? Bro. You like this though, huh? Like
I mentioned it a couple of pods ago about the girl who came off crazy at me, and I let her make it. That was way back in November, October, sometime around there. But this is a dude. That's different.
That's way different.
That's different.
Because the male ego says a lot of things. It's like, oh, you gonna let him pump you or whoa, this, that, and third. You know what? No, it's just the disrespect will not be tolerated. When I see you, we're gonna address it. Now, it can go here or it can go here. Either which way it goes, I'm with it. What we gonna do?
And thanks to this man to the left of me, like he calmed me. By the time I got off the phone, man, I felt a lot better. You know, I was like, all right.
That's what friends are for, man. J-Bo. Yeah. but your man's ain't no second chance. You better tell him. You better tell him.
So J-Bo, how was your last 2 weeks, my brother? We just recapped the week. Right now, we just recapping, but the topic of discussion for the show today is just recapping all of the bull. But before, how was your 2 weeks, bro?
Man, bless. You already know, man. Why I done started coaching.
No.
Yeah.
With basketball?
Basketball.
Okay.
Yeah, I was already coaching football. But yeah, we done started basketball season. It's and you know, 10-year-olds and just their attention span.
Like
it's trying, but
like dealing with a woman.
It's rewarding, bro. It's rewarding. You know, but that's all I've been doing. Staying out the way.
The boy nerd.
Mess with them kids.
Hey, we're gonna mess around and see J-Bo on the news.
Yeah.
He gonna be like, man, what you know what I'm talking about?
They help me with my patience, T. Jones. For real. I love them kids.
That's good, man.
So we also crossed some little boundaries this week too. Man, I got a alert on my phone that said brother to brother got 1,000 streams. You know what I'm saying? This week. You know what I'm saying? And that's just on Spotify.
Word.
Man,
So
that's an
yeah,
accomplishment right
yeah.
there.
So we crossed that. And mom, thanks to her, we uploaded our first video episode.
Innovative.
You
Yeah,
did.
and
Shout out to Mama.
It got some traction.
Mama
The last I checked, it had 50, but that was days ago. I ain't
Yeah.
even looked at it since then.
But I look at like I told her when she sent me the news between you and one of my other shows,
Mm.
I was like, any progress is better than none.
You did, man.
Because you crawl before you walk. When we first started, this wasn't no 1,000 views. So
Mhm.
it shows me that people are at least curious or care about what's really going on, because they know when they tune in to brother, it's not gonna be no bull. It's gonna be that real deal. So
Straight
but
up.
That's real to
because you know what though, they don't really associate, to me from the outside looking in, they don't associate black men with real content, because you have the love and hip hop and the basketball, all that old foolery. You know what I'm saying? When you tune in here, and I had a friend of mine that listened, he was like, whoever your guy is, he got his shit together. He was like, bro, he be really, you know, I said, but that's been from day one. He's always been that kind of, I said, that's what, you know, brought me, like, when we first met, our conversation on, I said, oh, no, you're getting a show.
Yeah.
He was like, let's do it. I said, when you want to start? He gave me like 2 weeks. I said, all right. And we've been rocking ever since, you know what I'm saying? And then that's what you come to expect when you know him personally. He's gonna come with that real, because we got enough fluff. This is the real.
It's enough to go around 2 times.
So with that being said, and you know how time flies, I'm ready to dive in.
So the things that I got wrote down, y'all stop me if anything catches y'all eyes. So
right.
Biden pardons his entire family, has the most pardons in history.
Man.
Trump, he pardons the people from J6. He starts his deployments, his deportations or whatever, and halts federal payments. That hurts a lot of stuff.
Man, that's tough.
Israel Hamas had a ceasefire. Jay-Z gets charged and dismissed. Lil Durk. This is all things that happened since November.
Okay.
This is everything
I'm
that
like,
happened
that
since-
was okay. I see what's going on.
Yeah, this is everything, not just politics.
It makes sense now.
Jay-Z has been charged and dismissed since then.
Yeah.
Lil Durk got charged with a second murder for hire
And hasn't been dismissed.
and
Yeah.
still remains in jail.
Yeah.
A man sets his Cybertruck on fire and kills himself in front of the Trump Tower. That was one of the things that happened in, I think that was like New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was one of them. And then another man, he runs through the crowd over there and gets out and open fire out there, and so that's why they under heightened security right now for the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be far worse than that college game. You know what I'm saying? Because they're just now bringing the story out, and I saw his picture of who it was, this, that, and the third.
Mm-hmm.
And excuse the conspiracy theorist in me, I never fall for what they put up there, man, because if it's an agenda, there's going to be what they call a patsy, someone that played their role.
And it just so happened that the Cybertruck can be remotely controlled as well.
So I'm like, hey, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? They understand. They understand when you put something on that TV, tell a lie, vision, people buy into that. But I'm like this, man, what's the real backstory?
And he was supposed to have, the thing between those two things, those men were both ex-military. One of them was a Green Beret. That's what I want to be. I want to be a Green Beret.
I bet you did.
Well, yeah,
I bet you
6
did,
Green
man.
Berets can control a whole city. If you got 6 of those.
That's nuts.
One of the men was a Green Beret.
That's a problem like that.
And another one, they said he had planned to get his whole family together and he was going to execute the whole family, but he backed out of that and decided to do what he did.
No second thought.
Yeah, and had the ISIS flag that they found. Yeah, like
Goodness, man.
This is all that happened.
Hey, you see what he's just listing them off, and I'm like, damn, that's a good one. That's
Yeah.
a good one.
Chris Brown sues for $50 million. He sues his for that slander case or whatever. He sues. Drake sues UMG and tries to keep Not Like Us off the Super Bowl. Trump.
Yeah, he failed at the Grammys. He failed at the Grammys. That should have been your first order of business before the Super Bowl.
Now, imagine you got 3 weekends in a row. You got the Super Bowl, the Grammys, and then what's another one after this? Something else supposed to go on after the Super Bowl. But it's 3 weekends in a row where it could show
Just
up.
take that ass with me. That's okay.
What, the Academy Awards or some shit like that?
It's not going to stop.
Yeah. That Trump says the helicopter crash was due to DEI. That pissed me off.
We need to talk about that. I don't want let's get into that.
He wants to do away with Black History Month.
He just banned trans too. Damn. He banned trans. Is it trans men?
He banned all. He says it's only 2 genders, male and female. That's it.
So it's a wrap. Yeah. That was today. He banned that. So ain't no more. Because there was a boxing match that made news, if you remember.
Yeah, that was a while back.
And dude. I'm talking about bludgeoning. It was bad. Yeah. I mean, you know,
in a matter of seconds, broke a jaw.
But I tend to agree with that. I don't want to ruffle no feathers. I don't have a problem. But that's not fair competition.
That's not fair.
That's a man.
There's a reason.
That's still a man at the end of the day.
There's a reason why we have male and female sports.
You identify as this, but that ass whooping you applied as a man ass whooping.
Straight up.
Ain't right though, man. And I'm damn sure not trying to be
the fastest woman in history, Flojo.
Yeah.
She ran to 10-7, 10-5. I think the record, I don't remember. 10-5, 10-6. It don't matter. Last year, the record for the 100 in high school boys was 10.0. In high school boys here in Texas.
That's crazy.
The fastest woman ever to touch the track ran 10.5. Our high school boys
ran a
10.0. Yeah. There's a reason why you separate.
That's not gonna be fair.
Hey, come on, bro. Hey, let's be real. Clarissa Shields, when she was bumping about, I can whoop Keith Thurman. Everybody's like, look, man, you got 3 knockouts for a reason. He got 30 for a reason.
Yeah.
We're not going to go there. So that's one of the things that I did agree with Trump. It's unfair. It's unfair competition.
And not to say that a woman probably couldn't whoop a few dudes' asses. Not to say that at all, but at the top level of profession of women's boxing or men's, bro,
I ain't even looking at skill. I'm just looking at biology.
Yeah, this is
a woman 185 and a man 185. Let's do a bench press. And it's simple.
It's different. It's different.
Exactly.
And that needed to be done. And you notice you're not getting a whole lot of backlash from that. You know what I'm saying? The same thing with the bathrooms and
the Democrats was getting outrageous for a while.
I mean,
they been getting outrageous.
You got the kids like, they could, you know what I'm saying? Like
any pervert can just walk in the bathroom.
Yeah, we're not
getting caught and just be like, oh no, I identify as a woman.
No, we're not doing that. So
that's why you got dudes in women's prisons right now, and women getting pregnant like a mother.
Bro, that's crazy.
That is crazy. Is that really?
Bro, if I ever go to prison, I'm going to identify as a woman. I'm telling y'all right now.
Bro, what's wrong with that?
I identify as a woman.
Hey, you gonna be in there,
female.
You gonna be in there breezy like a bug.
Y'all think I got 5 kids now? Yeah,
you gonna be like, bro,
multiply that by 10, baby, because I'm gonna have 50.
I'm gonna come to court in some heels, and man, that's nuts. That deep? No, that's deep.
That's what they're doing. You got grown ass men saying they identifying as women, and they are being put in women's prisons, dude. Women get knocked up. And
I never heard that shit.
No, me neither. That's crazy.
I never heard of that.
That's crazy.
But anyways, back to our sad list. Of
that shit is dark.
No positiveness.
The deportation so far, from my observations, the deportation seems to be affecting Black and brown communities. I definitely want to talk about that because we don't even realize, like, the normal person, they don't even realize how much that is affecting our communities. You know what I'm saying? And then Trump's wild nominations, that started back before he even started. You know, some of them got put in, some of them didn't. And finally, Elon's Nazi salute. Was he just autistic or is he just a Nazi? What is he trying
I
to
seen that shit. Yeah, I need some context. Fuck was it?
So, out of this jury list that we got right here, where you gentlemen want to start at? God,
Me personally, I want to talk about the
DEI.
That's the plain shit, right?
Yeah, because I smell a rat. You know what I mean?
DEI is diversity, inclusion, and equity.
Yeah.
I believe the E stands for. Just for the people who don't know.
So how would that correlate with all that? Man?
So we just had
Look at your boy with the correlate.
Hey,
No more looking up words.
I want my Malcolms today. Don't make me
See,
go there.
he didn't even catch it. I caught
Yeah.
Okay.
Niggalation.
So we just had a wreck. I don't know what to call it. We just had a mid-air collision. How many? It was about a week ago.
About roughly 2.
About 2 weeks ago. And this happened in Washington D.C.
The most protected.
I heard it was 2 though.
It was, but you only hearing about one. It was 2 wrecks
In Washington?
No.
No,
Oh,
not
you talking about the one in Philly?
Right.
Okay, yeah, I know about that.
Right.
I know about that. Okay, yeah.
But yeah, that first one, it included a military plane and what was that?
A military helicopter and a standard
Just 60. I think it was like 63 passengers because the military only had 3.
Yeah.
And I think like 65 died in total.
Yeah.
So yeah, because that one that it was carrying a bunch of skaters.
Yeah.
That it came from somewhere.
And me and Mama Jones had a conversation about it. Man, when she was hitting me with some of the possible theories, man, my mind was blown. She was like, remember, and when she was saying, I was like, God, there was so many different possibilities of what that could have been. You know what I'm talking about? You know how that goes. Because the FAA, in being in Washington, the most protected.
Also the most congested as well.
Yeah, but how did that go? How did that happen, bro? You know what I'm saying? I watched that video probably about 20 times. I'm like, and I told Mama Jones, I said it almost looked like
it was intentional.
That helicopter was almost like a explosive drone that intentionally hit the plane and blew it up.
It looks like the helicopter was intentional.
Wow.
And then Mom was like, well, you know, one of Elon's kids is a competitor in the skate. I was like, oh no, I'm like, no. She was like, you never know. They may have had to go up against them and boom. I'm like, man, he's that petty. I'm just saying though, think about that though. That's crazy that happened that way because it looked like it was like this, intentional. It came up from the bottom, boom, and you know what I'm saying?
Damn.
And this is the United States. The world is a stage.
It is.
What was the official cause and reason?
We haven't had one yet.
Exactly.
Right now, everything is just speculation.
And then not even a week later, Philly, in a more suburban area, and I'm watching videos where this lady was coming out of her door and saw the whole thing. You know, I'm talking about like,
oh yeah, I did see
that was crazy.
I did see that. Just walked out and that shit was like a movie.
Did you see that? Yeah, it looked like something in the movie. Yeah. And that's really close to DC. It's like, what's going on? There's no. This is America. Ain't too many coincidences.
Bro.
What about the theory you already know of this is a distraction and they doing something. They just this they trying to give something to distract us and keep our mind off of the real issue. I done heard that more than a few times.
If you don't look at what Trump, how he moving, you would want to distract from what the hell he doing. I mean, shit. The moves he doing, you would want some type of distraction. That nigga doing shit that we ain't never seen before.
Ever. But see, the thing about it too, like I was telling one of my old school partners, man, he was just like, man, everybody's worried about this and it's just a distraction, Jay. It ain't, it's other stuff we need to keep our mind on. But at the same time, Trump don't give a
it's definitely always a bigger play at hand. For instance,
of course,
for like that Greenland shit that he talking about, making Greenland or trying to get it or whatever, and making Canada a 51st state. All that shit is about trade, bro. When with climate change coming about and the earth heating up, it's a lot of shit that's melting right now.
Right.
So that area up there, if we control it, that's a lot of money come over through that port right there.
Of course.
So that's what that shit is about. It's always a bigger play at hand.
It's
You know what I'm
always,
saying?
because what you're presented and what's underneath ain't the same. We're gonna present this,
Yes.
but what it really is this, because you can't tell the people this, because then that's, you know what I'm saying,
Smoking.
that's not political. You're giving them the real. So we're gonna sell them on this, but this is what it really is.
Right.
Come on, man. And that's the world in a nutshell. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna present it as this, but this is what it really is.
But back to the plane crash though. He said the reason behind the damn plane crash was DEI. How in the flying FUC? How? Please explain to me, how is it that was the reason behind that damn plane crash?
Not a clue.
I've been trying to, unless you hired a bunch of unqualified people,
And
just
you saw
because
you saw the backlash. You saw the backlash of that, because that was like, did you just throw that out?
Oh, at one point somebody said that there was no MVPs on the flight. So that was what really drew up the backlash when you say there was no MVPs. What the hell is an MVP? So yeah, bro,
you know what I mean? Like, think about it. When something like that happens in certain areas at certain times, you know what people say? Well, critical thinkers say, who was on that flight?
Right.
Who of importance was on that flight?
That's true.
Right or wrong?
That's true.
And then it comes out, oh, a dictator from so and so was on that flight. Because what they will do, they will sacrifice 300 something people for that one.
That whole plane that disappeared, just randomly, Malaysian Airlines. Those people were going to an AIDS convention, something. You know what I'm saying? And the whole plane just disappeared.
Maybe they had the guy that really had the cure for AIDS on that joint. They was like, yep, this your last flight, bro.
The whole plane.
All you got to do is watch movies. Watch movies, and movies put what really goes on in a form of entertainment.
The dude who overthrew, he ain't overthrow. He rose up against Putin. You know, he was one of his henchmen at first.
Yeah, what happened?
You know, he was out there riding for. Then he threw him a coup, came up against Putin. They captured him or whatever, put him on the plane, let him go. They said they was gonna let him go free. They wasn't gonna charge him with nothing. Well, hell, somehow that plane just didn't make it to its destination.
No. You don't say.
That plane didn't
Bro,
make it.
I promise you, I don't want to get on this plane. Take me anywhere. Don't put me on the plane. Because you know what? That plane is controlled by remote control, bro. You ain't gonna see that plane.
I got a 25-hour flight from here to goddamn Bangkok in 24 days. And
that's why I said something about that
24-hour flight.
Something about that smell, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We can dead that now because we can just keep beating a dead horse. We will only know what they want us to know.
What they allow us to know.
And that's it. We will never know the truth unless you get another one of those, what do you call those, Watergate? I'm about to die anyway. They can't kill me no more. I'm already dying, so I'm going to go ahead and say it.
Yeah, man, T. Jones, I think that's why I don't get caught up in that shit like that, because it's just like, okay, this is what they're going to throw out. I know that it's not the truth. I know that's not even probably a third.
Unless you get a hold of that little black book when you become president, you don't know. So guess what, though? We can just keep speculating. We can move on to the next joint because we ain't gonna get on that shit.
So the one that I wanted to talk about was his deportations or whatever, and how that's affecting our communities, and we don't even realize it. So me and him, we got a classmate, right, that I mess with on a frequent basis. The dude went to school with us, grew up with us, all of that, but he's from he was born in Vietnam. His mama brought him over here as a baby.
Mm-hmm.
He don't know a damn thing about Vietnam.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And then it just so happened that a few years back, caught a felony case.
He did?
Yeah.
What the hell was he getting into?
Working for a guy who was doing inspections, but he wasn't putting it on the machine. And they ran a mistake. They run a sting
so
on
they
it.
come through there,
Everybody catches the F.
And they have been cracking down on that shit too. I've been hearing that shit.
So, not only are you illegal, but you're a felon.
Right.
He just had his first kid a year ago. His baby turned 1 this year. Him and his girl ain't married. They just boyfriend, girlfriend. So if the people come through, guess what? We can say bye-bye to our homie, and he don't know not a soul in Vietnam. None about it. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. And we all, this area right here is like highly diverse. It's pretty much every ethnicity you can think of is over here. So you got these same scenarios that I'm speaking of just right here on our blocks, you know?
That's tough right there, man. Because with him, he's not knowing what's going on. He don't, it's almost like, let's reverse it, and we're over there. And we think we got us a nice little job. We're trying to settle in it. Man, that's tough right there, man.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
And then not only that, the idiot talking about we're trying to take away the thing about if you have a kid here, the kid is no longer a citizen.
That's crazy to me.
So you mean to tell me, okay,
Hold on, say it again.
you know how people who come here from, say you from Haiti, your girl from Venezuela, y'all have a baby, right? Both of y'all two are illegal. But the baby
is born here.
The baby is a legal citizen of the United States. Yeah. He's saying no longer he's throwing that away.
Okay, so
now
here's my problem with that.
Because your country ain't gonna accept the mama's country ain't gonna accept the baby. So
this man a damn fool.
So if you were born here on U.S. soil,
that makes you a damn U.S. citizen,
right?
We know that, but how that's that making up the rules as you go.
So what about like army brat kids or whatever the fuck they call them, man? The kids that's parents in the army. You was born in another country.
They're considered citizens of that country and the U.S.
Right. But they're not gonna fuck with them though, are they?
D, was that an executive order or no?
No, that was executive order. Yeah. All this that I'm speaking of is executive orders.
That's tough. So what he did, he just opened up a book, blank page, and said, "Okay, we're gonna make up our own rules." And that's tough because once it's an executive order, it's done. Ain't nothing you can do about that.
For the next 4 years,
so that's tough,
man. What about that though, man? What about that? Your parents are from here. They're American citizens, but you was born in another country.
That ain't got shit to do with you.
Not at all.
If you was born in another country, you're a citizen of that country.
But we talk about you got two foreign parents that have you here, and he's saying you're not a U.S. citizen.
Hey, man, what the fuck is going on?
Exactly.
So when you hear them talking about dreamers, the DREAM Act DACA recipients or whatever, he's talking about people who were first generation American citizens. That's what they're talking about. That's my grandma. So when you tell me you're gonna do away with stuff like that, my ears pick up. Like, okay, so So what you saying? You gonna deport everybody that was DACA recipients? Because I dare. Oh Jesus!
You know what's funny though?
I dare you.
Once it's an executive order and all that, does it have to be passed, or it's just like once the executive order is done?
And executive orders is done, but they have expiration dates. They're not, final. They're not laws.
It doesn't have to go through. Does it have to go through legislature to get passed, or it's law?
You have the Congress who passed the laws. They're their own branch. You got the executive who also has the ability to not pass the law, but to give the executive orders. That's his version of a law. But his is temporary. They're not permanent.
Okay, so as long as I'm in office, it is what it is.
This is
As long as you in office.
That's tough.
That's the
So you're looking at 4 years
Mhm.
of something that is
Mm-hmm.
you were created on this soil, but you're not a citizen of. And that's just for the outsiders, correct? That's just for the foreigners, correct? Damn, boy, that's
We don't know nothing yet.
Oh,
we don't. All this is still developing right now. We don't know
That's
nothing.
bullshit.
That's
That's bullshit, man.
bro, that is literally taking a pen and saying, "Y'all want to have some fun?" Remember when I said, "AD, what would you do if you started?" That's what that is. That's exactly what that is. You said, "Well, I would do this and I would do that." And that's exactly what he's doing. He's making up shit as he
As
goes.
he goes.
So,
And that shit is creepy, man. That shit is creepy.
Because what if they got a black law? You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Hey niggas, I got something for you. Know,
When
Dave,
you give
classic
them
Dave
an
Chappelle.
inch, they take them out.
And it's a
Don't
hidden black law. Shit, it's a hidden black law.
That right there is.
So now you got all these babies. Who are these babies supposed to be citizens of? Because if you're from Honduras, you're from El Salvador, the daddy from El Salvador, neither one of them countries is going to claim this baby that was born in America. So
Hell nah. How you gonna get benefits of El Salvador and you were born here? I see what he's doing though. It ain't gonna stop, but it's not gonna stop nothing though.
Starting up a sex trafficking ring, man, right there.
Bro, let me tell you something. That is
You got it right there.
that is
that's
what you,
been going on.
I mean,
We
what you're talking about, that's old news.
been going on.
That's old news. Basically,
We got over 300,000 kids that disappeared in the last 2 years, and nobody know where the hell they at.
somebody know. But that's
They in that
deportation.
ring, baby.
That's deportation at its finest though.
Shit's
Because think about it though. Where were you born? Here? Okay. Bro, magic pen.
Just think
that's
about
tough.
it. All them kids that come over the border with them foreign parents. They take the kids, put them in foster care. The kids come up missing. Who gonna fight to find them kids?
Nobody.
Who can fight the final kids?
No, but here's the bigger question. Who cares? I'm saying as far as what
Right.
American attorney
Right.
cares at the
Right.
end of the day. They're like,
Mhm.
and then they look at you like this.
Why do you care?
Yeah, fight it if you want. So it's a lose-lose. And I remember Jesse Ventura years ago showed like this camp. They call it like ICE or something.
Talking about the governor.
In Arizona. No, in Arizona.
Yeah.
And they showed
Jesse Ventura.
they showed these families in these cages, bro. And he was like, right behind these walls, they have families in these cages and what you call it. And they were talking about how those kids was just coming up missing to never be seen again. And wasn't nobody questioning it.
But meanwhile, we had a whole tunnel system found
Mm.
from a synagogue, from a synagogue or whatever, underground. We ain't heard nothing else about that. Where was these tunnels leading to?
Well, and they even spoke about during the fires, the underground tunnels in Los Angeles. And of course they said, oh yeah, that's so the celebs can move. And bro, they talking about they got these trains, right, that run from New York to the East Coast and get you there in 15 minutes. But you have to be a certain level of, status to be on these trains.
Interesting.
They call them like bullet trains or something that literally get you from the east to the west in 15 minutes.
Mm.
So all that stuff that they got going on, it's been going on. The same thing with the Denver airport and things they talk about with that. You know what I'm saying? Those are things that we will know as much as they want us to know about it. You see what I'm saying, It's just that's just how it is though.
That's just
And that-
how it is.
Even with the Los Angeles fires, that had its own agenda and whatnot though. They're gonna
That's
tell you
crazy. I forgot. I always stuff I wrote down.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
say
oh,
that's
nothing about
major.
damn
Yeah,
fires.
that's major.
That's crazy.
Because that was an agenda too. It's like this. We're gonna do this the easy way or the hard way. I want this. You're resisting.
The smart
So here's
city.
what we're gonna do. And that's just how
We
America's
want
always been.
LA to be a smart city.
Why do you think that so many countries hate
New
America?
LA.
So many countries hate America because they call America a bully. It's gonna be even with look at what the Indians went through. You know what the Indians
Two
went
ways we can do this.
through.
You gonna get there or you gonna lay there?
Even with the
Yeah,
Indians fighting for their
T-Rage.
land and this and that and whatnot. Listen to me. There was a white lady that was saying, "Oh no, the government's talking about taking our property. Ain't nothing we can do about it." See, you know it's bad
Eminent domain, baby.
when they start feeling the pain that we felt. That tells you this ain't about race. This is about power.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, "Guess what? We're on borrowed time with our own property." If y'all ever seen a movie, it's a show called Outer Range. If you haven't seen Outer Range, check out Outer Range, and it covers some of that and how they come along. And you know what? I think I want this. I think I want this property. Ain't nothing you can do about it. You know what I'm saying? That's the American way, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Well, speaking of the American way, the legal system seems like it's been a lot of motion here in the legal system going on here recently.
Yeah.
Like lawsuits coming about. I don't know what. And for the life of me, have you ever heard somebody suing somebody after losing a damn battle in battle rap or however you want? I've never heard of that shit for the life of me, bro. And so I know they're wondering, like, well, how does this apply to us? Like, this has been since the beginning of music. Like, we had battles. That's how hip hop started. Like, you had two MCs who would go back and forth, and for the first time ever, we seen a dude sue somebody because he lost it and he didn't like what was said in it. Now, you might not, you can say that it was a lie or whatever, but most of this shit is a lie. Like, so
I mean, it's entertainment.
you can't prove none of it.
But isn't it funny how
it's weird to
the
me.
person that sued never tried to do this when they were on top? See, they have a saying, it's no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just telling Mama Jones earlier, we was talking about that, and I was like, you know, how many times has this guy bullied people and gotten away with it because of who he is, his status, and who he runs with?
Mm-hmm.
And now he ran up against somebody that you kept poking him, kept poking him, kept poking him, and this person was like, "I'm chilling," and then eventually,
the goddamn rattlesnake came out and bit his ass.
so now what? So now you're mad about it. You see what I'm saying? That's what happens when you keep fucking with the little man or perceived little man, David Goliath, Tortoise in the Hare, Tom and Jerry. You know what I'm saying?
People ain't
Also,
good at talking.
You just keep.
That's light skinned nigga.
And guess what? And guess what though? Right
Best.
about now, if y'all watch the awards, nobody feels sorry for you because the whole how they had that song playing in the background where they cued it at, and when he got on stage and they said A minor the whole. Nobody cares, bro, because people have watched you bully. You're like the American government, and people are tired of it.
But just like you say too, man, take your L, man. Take your L.
But that's a massive L because that L has cost him millions and millions of dollars, humiliation, and whatever else. You see what I'm saying? It kind of exposed him on a lot of platforms and the minors and this, that, and the third and whatnot. You see what I'm saying?
What is Drizzy, T. Jones?
But guess what though?
It's an icon.
You can only be on top for so long.
True.
If you would have minded your damn business
If you would have
and left that man alone, you wouldn't have these problems.
But did Drake really start this one? Because I could say that it started from the fuck the big three is only big me.
There was something that triggered that though.
Yeah, they've been shooting shots at each other way before then.
I know that, but I'm saying that's what started the biggest, the shit that we just saw transpire.
Ain't no more subliminal shit.
You know what it was though? Really, Kendrick was minding his business. You hear things. Okay, I'm gonna let that J-Bo talk me off the ledge. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, I'm gonna let that go too.
Still playing with me.
But guess what? After a while, you're like, you know what?
All right, you know what?
When I come for you, I'm coming. And I'm not sparing nothing because I'm going to show you because you've been a bully. You've gotten away with this, that, and the third. Just go back to being Jimmy from Degrassi and you'll be safe. No. You want to be this and that and getting into it with Puff and Ross and doing all. And you got backup of certain individuals that make you feel that you can't be touched. But
Didn't he say something about Lucian too, though?
He's part of UMG. So
Yeah.
in essence, what have you done?
Bit
You bit the hand that fed you.
Yeah.
So now everybody's like this. That's what we're doing? You're on your own. You're on
Yeah,
your own.
because he loaded he just had a song that he uploaded, and then they took that shit down.
Because they got see, that's the thing about when someone owns your likeness.
Yeah.
When they own your likeness, they own you.
They can do whatever the fuck they
So
want.
they can say, you know what though? That record you got? Or they make one phone call.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know what? This is on the no playlist.
Bro, if Michael Jackson couldn't beat the system, they
That-
should have
that's
told
exactly
everybody
what I was
else.
thinking of.
And you know what's
They should have
crazy?
told everybody
What's
else,
crazy
man.
is that when you mention that was in the 80s. When they felt like he said something anti-Semitic, the biggest superstar to ever do it
Ever.
was silenced.
Ever.
You see what I'm saying?
Of all time.
And that was in the 80s, bro. We're not talking about current. We're talking about nigga was
Yeah.
10, 11 years old when that happened.
Right.
So imagine the power now. You turn your back on these people that made you worth $200-300 million. Guess what? They got something for you. These folks move. They play different, man. They don't play the same way we play. I was just telling him earlier, even about the Luka trade. That is so much more deeper than people know.
Man, you took it right. I was just gonna say.
I'm gonna take this dude right here.
With the Luka.
I'm gonna take this guy right here.
With the Luka trade, just don't sit right with me.
I'm gonna take Nico Harrison. And guess what I'm gonna do?
Don't sit right.
Y'all don't know how they look, but you know how this guy looks. So I'm gonna put him on Front Street and make him take the rap for what we did. You see what I'm saying? So now this is the most hated man in Texas, behind something that has nothing to do with
I
basketball.
bet he paid.
This has nothing to, you know what it has to do
I
with?
bet
This
he
has
paid.
everything to do with legalized gambling in Texas. That's all it's about. It ain't got nothing to do with this man being out of shape or nothing. That's a pawn. That's a scapegoat, bro. It's all bull. And at the same time, the NBA benefits because Bron's about to be out the door. They need a new face. International love. Shohei Ohtani with the Dodgers. Now Luka with the Lakers. You notice California getting a whole lot of love.
Whole lot of
That's
love.
all it's about, man. But the fans don't know no better. Nico needs to be. It's bigger than him, bro.
I knew it was something.
It's bigger than him. This is about big money, and I'm talking in the B's with billions.
With the
baby.
They're
B's,
talking about
baby.
eventually the Mavs gonna move to Las Vegas.
Boom.
Like, what the fuck?
How does he know about that? What I tell you? Before he got here, what I tell you?
That's what you said it was about.
Because
turn the fan
here's the
base
situation.
against us.
We're going to turn the fans against this franchise and make them hate it so much that if we take them, they'll be pushing us out the door. Hey, take them with you. We don't want them no more. Falls right into their hand. So now you got the Las Vegas Mavericks. Bro, this is chestnut
That
chicken.
goes back into what we was talking about last pod. We was talking about how you devalue a motherfucker.
Mhm.
We were talking about a person, but same thing works with a franchise. You can devalue a stock of anything and then buy it at its lowest.
How do you say, you know what? We felt we're going to trade the face of our franchise for this guy. We feel that's a better move.
That makes no sense.
Shout out to Anthony Davis, because Anthony Davis once again is on the receiving end of the bullshit. LeBron's a part of it because Anthony Davis is a Clutch Sports client. Oh, I didn't know. So you and Rich Paul had no clue. Bro, let me tell you something. If you believe that shit, I got beachfront property in Oregon to sell you. Because it's bigger than... If you don't think that Anthony Davis doesn't know, you're crazy. It's one big ass game. It's all this ends up being about money.
Billionaire games,
Yeah.
baby. That's what we play.
How much money did they fuck my boy Luka out of? By
Okay.
him not being able to.
So with him not being able to get the Supermax, 117 million was left on the table. Now he'll get that back through various endorsements because he's in the biggest market, not named LA and Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay, he'll get that back. But if you pay attention to it, Luka's he's messed up because he was a pawn, and Anthony Davis was a pawn, and Nico Harrison used to work for who? Nike. Who did he bring to Nike? Kobe. Who did Kobe play for? The Lakers. You mean to tell me that this man that represents Dallas gave up arguably the greatest player right now and got 2 players in a pick?
2 players in a 20.
But for De'Aaron Fox, you got 5 players, 2 picks, first. You see what I'm saying?
Man, the Lakers should have emptied out something, bro. We got 2 players in a pick for Luka.
Fleeced.
That's how I know.
And guess what?
Bullshit.
Guess what the fan base says? They revolt, right? They're mad. They got.
Hell yeah,
they're outside the AC. They actually have a protest scheduled for Saturday, bro. And guess what? The protest you're doing, the people that own this team, the people that own this team, they'll probably have waters ready for you, dummy. You're doing exactly what they want you to do.
Wow.
See, that's why those people that sit up top, they say, y'all want to cause some shit? Let's have fun. Puppet strings. So now we'll take the Mavericks to Vegas. Good.
Amazing.
Take them with you. Bro, this is too easy.
Yeah, because they got it where it's almost, you look at somebody with a side eye, you still say you're a Mavs fan down there.
Exactly.
Because you like, shit, they done traded away all.
Because guess what? Those people that bought
centerpiece,
the people that bought that team, they care about money and casinos. They're in the casino and money business. They're not in the basketball business.
Right.
Mark Cuban even said it. Mark Cuban took a loss on that team. He could have got way more money, but from what they had told him, what was going on versus what's going on, you see what I'm saying? See, Cuban got money.
I know Cuban's one fucking with that.
But you know what's crazy though? That goes to show you there's levels. Cuban got money, but they got more.
Mm-hmm.
Cuba's worth $6 billion. They're worth $130 billion. It's different. They're making power moves. They want to make sure Texas is so laced with casinos and legalized gambling. You know what I'm saying? They don't give a damn about the Mavericks. The Mavericks are just a vehicle to get the job done, to get it done.
If we legalized gambling, would we have been right there on the doorstep of legalizing weed too, man?
Look at my hands. Weed, gambling.
They
don't give a damn about weed. It's 2 different things. You know what I'm saying? 2 totally different things. Texas will be the last state out of the 51 that will legalize. You know why? Texas makes too much money locking your ass up.
Oil and cattle is what we care about.
Oil and gas, cattle,
steers.
That's why they told the Adelman family, we will revisit this in 2027. They're like, oh yeah, well, why we do that? We're going to make a mockery of this team. And we're going back to Vegas. Texas is probably like, you know what? You go ahead. We got enough money to bring another team here. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all about money. Texas got money. Y'all got money. Now you got the standoff, and you got the pieces. LeBron, Luka. You know what I'm saying? It's one big ass game.
That's bullshit.
You're not gonna trade somebody that took us to the finals last year. You know what? Damn. All of a sudden he's out of shape, but he took us to the finals. You gotta open your eyes, man.
Hey, man, to my boy, man, Luka legend.
Oh, Luke.
Right there.
He out of here, huh?
Man.
But guess what, though? You up here feeling sorry for somebody that's about to sign a $280 million deal. Guess what?
Nah.
He gonna be all right.
I ain't feeling sorry for him. I'm feeling sorry for us, nigga. I'm a Maverick. Shit.
Understand this.
Took us to the finals last year.
Since this went there, Dean, I'm trying not to go there.
Shit.
Y'all kill me not understanding what AD brings. This is a 25, 7, and 11.9 rebounds a night. Bro, what you're doing is this. In essence.
And now that is true.
In essence, Luka's 28 a night. So you're losing.
How old is AD?
AD is 31.
Yes.
Luka's 25.
Yes.
But what you are losing is 3 points a game, no defense, versus 25.7, 12 rebounds with defense. So before all these so-called fans knock it, before they try it, you ain't got no slouch.
And that is true.
You ain't got no slouch.
How long do you think he gonna play?
But that's the big question. That's
he's accident prone.
What they say?
What they say?
What they say?
Mr. Glass.
They said, what did they say though? They said we are in win now mode. That's a 3 to 4 year window. That trade with Luka is future. LeBron exits. Luka takes over. So right now, We are primed to win.
Mm.
Now, barring health, we are primed to win now. That boy Max Christie that came with the Lakers, 4-4 last night, 13 points. Didn't miss jack bone.
Mm.
Nasty on the perimeter defense. And we got Caleb Martin from Philly. You know what I'm saying? We got a squad.
We got rid of Grimes
for him. But Grimes, here's the situation with Grimes. Grimes was going to leave anyway at the end of the year because the way he was playing, he was going to command 15, 16 million a year anyway. You don't let him walk for nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
But you don't let him walk for nothing. So Nico was like, okay, before you walk, and we're not going to retain you at that price because we don't have to, let's go ahead and just get you out of here now. People got to understand the politics of business and the business of politics. Are you just going to let Grimes walk and get nothing? No. You're like, you know what? You're gone anyway. Let me get something for you.
And Max Christie is pretty much like Grimes.
Max Christie's
game.
Max Christie is Grimes that's taller and a better defender.
Right.
So you really didn't lose anything. What you lost was the love of the player personally that you bro, it's real life Monopoly. That's all it really is. It's real life Monopoly. But at the end of the day, there were two pieces that were pawns. And they were used and they were played. And it goes to show you, it don't matter how much money you're worth. Braun's worth $1 billion, but he ain't worth $130 billion. So he's still a piece. He's still a pawn.
He's still a piece.
That stadium that you're playing in,
as Michael
guess what?
Jackson was.
The stadium,
as Prince was.
The stadium that you're playing in, somebody owns that.
It has a name on that motherfucker.
That you play in. Mm-hmm. So, you know what I'm talking about?
Hey, speaking of that, Clippers got a new clean ass stadium too, man.
Intuit Stadium. Owner's name is Steve Ballmer. Steve Ballmer was a Apple guy. Net worth 160, 170 bill.
That tells me that that's going to be highly tech.
Oh, it's the coldest stadium tech-wise ever built.
Cold.
There's a guy named Paul Allen that owns the Trailblazers, Apple guy. Look, one thing Bill Gates did, he set his people up.
Mm.
He said, when you here and you got that umbrella and each one of you is worth $100 billion, that's how you set your team up. And that's the infrastructure we still haven't figured out yet. You know what I'm saying? Give you a small little example. Look at what happened with what 50 did with Meach and getting out and whatnot. Now it's all blown to shit because Meach is out here making moves, getting money with Ross. 50 feels away. Well, this is the last season of BMF. Now it's going to shit. It's too personal. Let that man get his bread. We still do the show. But no, now you in your feelings, you cut the show off because BMF is one of my favorite shows. We don't get that no more because you feel like, well, he's working with him. Man, those people that make those beats, they're like this. I don't even like him, but I understand his value.
Right.
So he's about to make this money. Our ego gets in the way and says, I don't like him. I don't want to make money with him.
I can work with anybody. I don't have to like you.
Me and you could cuss each other out, but I said, you know what though, man? I know what he holds. He knows what I hold. And projected, we can make $3 billion next year. Mm-hmm. I don't really care for this guy. He's a dick. But guess what though? He's a rich dick. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm trying to be rich.
And I'm a toast with him.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go our separate ways.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
That don't mean that you have to be tied to this man forever.
You don't have to be best friends to make money.
Yeah, get the bag, bro.
As long as you got your contracts and everything that's lined up and protected, that's all that matters though. We have to learn how to play the game on a higher level.
Is that something y'all think we only kind of deal with, man? Is like cutting ourselves out from the bag?
We're the totem pole. We're at the bottom.
Because we're emotional or just we don't fuck with nobody.
We're at the bottom of the totem pole. And guess what? If you go to
you always trace everything back to slavery, bro. When it comes back to us, you can always trace it back to slavery. Goddamn you. We don't like to see each other do better than each other. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and you know what's funny?
We didn't start that. That started. Trace it back.
Yeah. Look at this. Look at the management group of, and we're over, but I don't care because this is a conversation that needs to be had. Name one of the owners of the Washington Commanders. Can you name one of them?
No, none of them are owners.
Guess who's one of the owners? Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson is one of the owners of the Washington Commanders. And before that, he was one of the owners of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
What they calling shit? T. Jones, one of them groups. One of them groups.
Well, it's an investment group.
An investment group.
So what they do is they say this. Okay,
hey, we need a fucking investment group to come save us in Dallas, man.
Bro, first of all, you got an investment group. The investment group you got is $130 billion ain't happening. But here's what happens though.
The Cowboys is the most
man.
Because let's say it's us three and we got three other partners, right? But let's say the six of us individually can afford this franchise by ourselves. But you know what they do? They say, nah, I'm going to limit my liability. I'm going to get with D, J-Bo, X, Y, and Z. And we're going to each put in $50 million. And that way, if everything goes to shit, I don't take a total loss. Right. I only was on the hook for a sixth of, opposed to 100%.
That's how businesses are.
Black men say this though.
Yeah.
I want to own 100%. So everything. But here's what they don't say.
They
when that boat sinks, I'm done. You see what I'm saying though?
They don't want
we don't understand how business really works though, because if I can get anything in, if I'm good on my own, you're good on your own. We're all each other's crutches. We're good. Right. We know that we're good. I say, J-Bo, I need you 30 mil. D, 30 mil. I'm putting up 30 mil, and we got three others putting up 30 mil. That's gonna be about 240 mil. We're gonna get this club. We're gonna divvy it up, whatever. If all goes to shit, we only lose a portion. We don't lose. Not one is stuck with 240 mil. Yeah. Hey man, y'all heard about D? What happened? He jumped off a roof because he lost 240 mil because he went listen, bro. Once we master that part of economics and understanding of business, we'll be better. But we always want to run the show. Tony Draper, Jay Prince, Suge Knight, you can go on and on and on and on and on.
Irv Gotti.
When they did try,
and he's on life support.
Yeah, he's on life support. Hey, shout out to
is that true?
Shout out to Irv Gotti, man. Yeah, just multiple strokes and stuff, man. Hope that man pulls through. When we did try to put that together as one, we had somebody with their hand in their pocket that exposed it.
Somebody went to snitch.
I'm not gonna say no names.
He's a top rapper. Well, but he don't even rap no more.
He knows, but guess what though? Yeah, exactly. He got awarded with what? A certain label, certain clout, and that's how that's how they always get us. It's always infiltrated from the inside out. So once we can figure out how to get around that and really do business the way that they do business, we'll be better. But until then, we'll always be at the bottom because the way they move and the way that we move, it's not the same.
That's a changing mentality thing, though. You gotta find people who got the same mentality as you, and surround yourself with them.
But you gotta find people that'll stick to it, because what happens when everybody's on the same page until they're not? Somebody comes in and says,
until they're not.
Until somebody comes in and says, you know what though? Hey, come on over with us. We'll give you an extra. That's the motivation for us, because we act like we ain't never had nothing before. What you're talking about, divide and conquer, was called the Willie Lynch letter. Mm-hmm. The Willie Lynch letter is now the Willie Lynch syndrome. It still resonates today. I'm not knocking LeBron for what he did, but I told you, LeBron didn't have to re-sign with Nike. He signed a lifetime $1 billion deal. Let me tell you something. They've eclipsed $1 billion how many times? LeBron could lift LeBron could lift to be 102. What LeBron should have did was said, what we're gonna do is this though. We're gonna do a deal to where I do my own shoe. I'll get my people XYZ woo, and you'll get a cut too for distribution. Let's do a 70-30, 65-35.
Percentage
boom.
Is where it is.
But that's not how we, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
When I say LeBron dropped a different type of ball, he heard billion. Okay, the catch was lifetime. It wasn't billion. The catch was lifetime. Right. $1 billion lifetime deal. You know how many shoes LeBron sells?
Right.
You know how many times he's made $1 billion over and over and over? So we got to start paying attention to what they say. $1 billion lifetime. Nah, that ain't it.
Is that kind of like the deal where, like, you sell your, what is it, like your masters or some shit like
catalog?
That?
The thing I like about the catalog that's dope is that you can have what's called a revert clause. where let's say Nelly sold his catalog for $50 million.
They said Wayne sold this shit for $100.
But we know that it's worth more than that. You can do what's called a reversion to where it reverts back in so many years.
Oh, that's normal by law anyway.
Exactly.
30 years is yours.
So you can be like, okay, well,
30 years?
30 years.
You can do a revert. You can do. It don't have to be 30. It can be 30. It can be 50. It can be whatever you negotiate.
Okay.
But I notice now I'm seeing a lot of commercials.
30 is just
that's
the
standard. That's standard.
Yeah,
that's
really.
default.
Yeah.
I'm watching these ads now. I'm seeing it. I already heard the hot in here. I'm hearing this, that, the. So what Nelly gets is what's called a flat rate. Here's your 50, bro. You're good. There is no kind of publishing, no incentives attached to that. Those people that gave him that money, every time that plays, they get paid. He got a flat rate. No more for him.
Right.
You understand? You see something going out?
Exactly.
He's like, shit, I needed that boost and they understand that. They got more plugs in a house. They can call overseas and be like, hey.
So it's like, I might give you this 50 racks, but I might recruit that 50 racks in the first 2 weeks.
Let me tell you
So
something.
the rest of the 50 weeks of the year, that's my dope.
Nobody, just say it like this, though. Nobody's going to give you $50 million if they ain't got more where that's coming from.
If they ain't going to make at least 100.
So look, if I'm
Pretty
giving you
much.
50, I already got 100 coming.
Straight up.
But let me tell you how that works, though. You got sync licensing. You got mechanical licensing. You got performance licensing. I'm going to name those three. Sync licensing is movies. Now we can use this in the soundtrack. You got mechanical. Record sales. Oh, damn. Record sales pick back up from people that are unfamiliar with what they hear in a movie. What's that? They Shazam it. I'm going to go get that. Those mechanicals, that goes to them. Then you got performance. When you perform it, if it's in the contract, that can go to them, or you can do a split.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. If they're giving you 100,
No
what you
cash
think
registers don't
What you
stop.
getting?
What?
what do you think they're getting?
Ling, 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 ling. Them hoes
So
stay going.
if they're giving you 100, I promise you they're getting about
at
4 or
least-
5.
Yes, half a billion.
Because who's
Anyway.
going to give you 100 million if they're not getting 4 or 5 times that?
Who?
That's
dog?
what
You're like this though. I'm just happy to get the 100. Yeah, so you got the 100, but until that deal reverts back, there is no residual payments. You are done.
So
And
that's
they keep eating.
That's the only thing that make that shit kind of make sense is the reverse shit. Like,
But that could be 30 years from now. But at the same time, you've just got $100 million. That Irv Gotti thing strikes me as fishy because he sold all of his masters and he got, it was just 100, 200 million. He got an astronomical number for all the masters. All of a sudden he's on
You
life
gotta remember
support.
how many how many damn artists was on that motherfucker. He had Ja Rule.
He
and
shared,
Ashanti.
he said
a lot of shit.
he said himself though. He did not break bread with nobody. Ashanti was so pissed that she had to reproduce her whole album over
Mhm.
because he owned the masters. So she had to go in, rehire producers because
Mhm.
when you own the masters, you can't perform it. You can't use it in movies for licensing or syncing, what they call sync royalties. And if it's mechanicals, which are record sales, all that goes to Irv. So really, she's fighting an uphill
Damn.
battle to say, let me redo this whole album. And you know how people are. That don't sound like the original.
Mhm.
right?
I want the original. The original's gonna go back to Irv. So when you're doing performances, you can't perform
You
the
gotta
original,
switch it up.
original.
because guess who gets paid? Irv.
Yeah.
That's why artists have to understand the music business is 90% music. I'm sorry. 90% business,
Business, baby.
10% music.
Mhm.
Once you understand that, you'll be better off. People don't even know that Kendrick and Top Dog, they're not even on the same level no more.
Mhm.
Kendrick did a deal with Top. That deal expired. Kendrick got his own little thing now. Top got his own little thing now. That deal expired. But they made a lot of money. If they re-up, I don't know, but I know they had a deal. And once it expired, Kendrick's like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Because now I ain't got to share with your ass. Because I heard it was 50-50. Drake exposed that. I give Drake credit. Drake exposed it.
It was like drop and give me 50.
Yeah. If you pay attention, him and Top had 50-50 split. That is no longer. That deal expired. And Drake, did you see Kendrick's jewelry? Did you see the jewelry? I'm just saying though, you have to understand the business of it. One thing about Luka didn't understand one thing about this. At any given time, you are property of these people. You are an entity, and they can do with you what they want, unless you have a no trade clause, which he didn't have, like LeBron or certain players. He didn't have a no trade. You know why he didn't have a no trade? Because he wasn't at that level just yet. He wasn't there just yet. They're not going to give you a no trade. How many rings you got? You want no trade? How many rings LeBron won? 3? 4? Okay, he has a no trade. He can do what he wants to do. There are things put in place to protect
levels,
you.
Baby.
There are levels to this.
There's levels.
One thing that Luka will, one thing he will learn, he will absorb the knowledge of this from LeBron.
Oh yeah.
He will learn the good, bad, and the ugly from LeBron.
Yeah.
Because now you understand what happened to him had to happen to him because guess what? He thought he was untouchable.
Damn, we thought he was untouchable
until he wasn't. This man really gonna use the restroom in the middle of the show, boy. You ain't shit. So that's what I'm saying, though. You have to understand the business of what you get yourself into. If you don't understand the business of what you get yourself into, you're just a participant, a willing participant that goes with the flow of what they tell you to do. You see what I'm saying?
Damn, they broke our hearts, though, T-Jones. God damn.
But there was nothing he could do. He had nothing in place to protect him.
He just bought like a
$15 million. It doesn't matter. You either gonna keep it,
it don't fucking matter, and
come back, or you gonna you see what I'm saying?
Right.
And they said that Anthony Davis had just bought a $32 million mansion in LA. So guess what? You're either going to put it on the market or you're going to keep it. Now I have a strange feeling the way that, you know, how Texas and Dallas set up. If he's smart, he'll keep that.
He'll keep it.
So that's a lesson right there in business 101. It doesn't matter what field you're in. There's business that comes along with it. And if you don't know it, the people that know that you don't know it are going to take you for a ride. And that's just what it was. Luka didn't necessarily get taken for a ride. He just couldn't stop what was happening. And someone, even like Cuban, who's worth $6 billion, couldn't stop it either because he had nothing. He sold everything. He sold all his rights. Imagine being worth $6 billion, saying that used to be mine, and you can't stop that.
And you can't stop that. And you're the only one that won a championship in our franchise history, dog. Yeah.
So with that being said, dude, you close it out. But that's just a lesson in business 101. You have to understand your business in whatever field you're in, be it real estate, entertainment, car business, anything. You got to understand the business aspect, or you're gonna get done like, you know what I'm saying? Cuban got done.
The second word of everything is business. Whether you're in the car business, entertainment business.
Didn't I just say all that?
Whatever. The second word is business.
It always follows.
And that's the most important.
And here's what they always want to say when they do you bad. It's not personal.
It's business.
Bro, there you go.
Straight up. So before we get up out of here, this week, we are reading Lies That My Teacher Told Me by James W. Lauren. Lies My Teacher Told Me. And this week in Black History is Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron was born February 5th, 1934. So we're going to salute Mr. Hank Aaron. And the person that you should know is Gideon Bluford. He was the first African American in space in 1983.
Who was that?
His name was Gideon Bluford, Mr. Bluford. So that's it for this week. Our recap of what all the fuckery that has occurred since November. So the next time somebody look at you in your face and ask, "Are you your brother's keeper?" Look at them in their eyes and tell them, "Yes, I am."